Hi, Scorpio. Ooh, is it already steamy? Or no, not yet? Okay, well, Venus moves into Gemini soon. And then things are going to get hot. But also, okay. You know that space you get in where you really like something and then you want it all the time? And then you start having these thoughts that are very left. Possessive thoughts, perhaps jealous thoughts, perhaps possessive thoughts. Destructive. Destructive is the word I'm looking for. Okay, so towards the end of June, what starts at the beginning of June as very sexy, you love it, you're all into it, like thank God, finally something to throw all my intimacy into. The moon. Okay, this is very important. So everything changes June 21st. Why can I not talk right now? Everything changes June 21st. As soon as we move into Cancer, things get dicey, difficult. Neptune also goes retrograde on the 21st in Pisces. So everything that needs to get hot and heavy without being destructive can happen before then. If you've been worried about money, especially if you're somehow tied to world economy, you may be thinking, what is going on? I was doing so well and now I feel like I may have to even switch jobs. Like, what's the deal? June will test you financially. It wants to see what you're made of. It wants to see how much of you is defined by what you have and what you can accomplish and what's the real essence behind that. June wants to teach you, Gemini season wants to teach you that you are so much more than your accomplishments, so much more than your opportunities, of which there will be many, so much more than your desires, even. Seems like a strange road to find what you are more than by following through. And yet the I Ching tells us that sometimes the best way to get rid of a desire is to fulfill it, give into it. It's the giving in, though, that you have to be really careful with, because you know that thing you do where you dive in and you dive all the way in? That's June. So when you get to June 21st and it switches over, the moon here, you know, warning, warning, Cancer season. The weirdness starts already on June 17th with the full moon. But after that, it just seems like, you know, successive hit after hit in all these different ways where you're seeing in yourself what you can't do this time around. You don't want to make the same mistakes you've made before when it comes to intimacy. And I feel that you feel yourself falling into that, you know, death card, that Scorpio, like, I can't help that I'm like this, I'm just going to be like this. And Gemini season is like, I think you can help it. And I think that it would be great for you if you try. Now Scorpio's rolling their eyes and going, no, we can't help it, we're not gonna try. But this month has a way of showing you that there are better options. If you avail the better options before June 21st, you will be very successful in your endeavors, especially your love life. However, to dismiss the warning signals, to dismiss your need to dive in and yet watch your head, you know, don't hit the bottom. And Scorpio laughs, ha ha ha, there is no bottom. Oh yeah, there is. In shallow people's pools, there is a bottom. This is not you jumping into your own pool and you can go all the way down and it's no big problem, everyone is good. This is you jumping in other people's pools that are super shallow and you think you're just gonna dive right, you think you're just gonna dive right down into, you know, the depths of them. And instead you're gonna hit your head. So swim in the shallow end. No diving, no need to dive, but you said I'm going to get really obsessive and want to dive right. Yes, you will get really obsessive and you will want to dive deep, but as soon as Cancer season comes around and Neptune goes retrograde, you're going to be looking around going, wait, what did I do? Oh no, what did I promise? Oh God, what did I commit to? Oh wait, I don't even know how I feel about this anymore. Yeah, so better to do all that without your head bandaged up from, you know, hitting your head somewhere that just wasn't deep enough for you. Now, this is all if the thing you find, especially if it's with a Cancer, is shallow. If it's deep, you would think that that would be better, but it might not be. Because if you're both wanting to go into that obsessive place, oh, you can go. This month allows for it. You know, Gemini season gives you rope. Gemini season gives Scorpio rope. Do your crazy, go for it. You will shine in your emotional crazy until the middle of June. And then you will have to pay for the crazy. So this is like an emotional credit card this month. How much you want to put on there? How much obsessive, deep, intimate, you know, sexual, physically based stuff do you want to get into that then you will have to either explain, make commitments because of, face consequences for, is what I'm saying. So, since you know the consequences are coming, I have no idea why I can't speak. I have no idea why this is so difficult right now. It doesn't even make sense. 6 of Swords, 9 of Wands. What is taken, especially in terms of money or career, is only to open things up in a much, much more abundant direction. But it's not here yet. It's not here yet. It's going to take a while. By the end of June, you'll be like, oh, that's what it was. Not yet, though. The moon is also about secrets being revealed, leaving partners, partners leaving you because of something they realize, something they can't unsee. Knight of Cups. That thing they can't unsee might be that they feel that you have feelings for somebody else. And people tend to take it real personal when you're finished with them. They see it as a reflection of their worth, especially with Scorpios. And that can make it hard to get rid of people, and it can make it really hard for them to see you move on and offer that love to somebody else, which also might be happening this month for a lot of you. It's a changeover because this month is a lot about reconciliation. It's a lot about finding the trust again, but it's finding the trust in something deep, something very real. So any superfluous stuff that's been going on falls to the wayside. And not to be cold, but I don't think you guys are even going to notice. Probably destroy them, but I don't think you'll notice. So Knight of Cups, new love, new opportunities. You're feeling bold. You want to say the things. People are feeling bold. They want to say the things to you. Lots of love communication going on. Lots of offers being made. But again, don't commit. Not yet. Wait until that Neptune retrograde comes around. See how you feel. See how you feel. You don't know how you feel yet. You really don't. You don't know how you feel. You think you know how you feel. I don't know why there's such like a static electricity in the air. It's even messing with my speech. Woo. It's your energy. It's your like super potent, highly sexual, like let's get it on, it's sacral chakra time energy that you guys got going on. Now, in terms of work, like I said, there's new opportunities opening up. You might even be recommended for a raise and you're like, no, things are not going well. I'm not going to be recommended for a raise. Yeah, but you are being noticed for your diligent and consistent hard work. And you might be surprised by an offer later this month of like, hey, we see you. We recognize what you're doing. It's good stuff. There's a lot of people behind closed doors talking about you. Offers could lead to more money. These hidden offers yet to be revealed, 9 of Wands, could get you back in the game in terms of work if you feel like you've been slacking or work has just been terrible. The 9 of Wands and the Moon are also cards of revelation. So Scorpio being right there in the middle with the Death card, it's like you're finding out how obsessive you can truly be. Whoever you meet in June that you end up having an intimate relationship with, whether this is a past love or a new nothing, you know, one thing is for sure, that situation is going to reveal a lot to you about how you are and how you feel. For a lot of you, the Moon and the 6 of Swords is also about breakups. You find something out, you can't look past it. You're like, then the next card is the Death card. Like, no, I'm a Scorpio, I can't deal with this. Listen, whatever throughout the years has made me feel like I should tolerate a certain level of bullshit, yeah, I'm just not doing it. Sorry. What do you want to do? And God forbid someone say to a Scorpio, what do you want to do? I'm fucking leaving. That's what I'm doing. So whatever it is that made you leave, or whatever it is that made that person leave, there's still a lot more to come out about that. That situation is not over. Then a bunch of cards falling out. King of Pentacles and the Emperor. So some new blood on the scene. If you're dealing with an earth sign or an Aries, they're coming up strong. This is also about increasing wealth and status. 3 of Swords and the Strength card. If you're dealing with a Leo, that's either ending badly or they've got trouble in their own life and you're really close to them. And they're experiencing some betrayal. 7 of Swords, 2 of Swords. Betrayal that you may not want to tell them about. Betrayal that they may have hidden from you for a long time and you feel like you got played. Leos, and I'm sorry, there was a 7 of Pentacles hiding there. In terms of money, do you feel like somebody robbed you or somebody took what was yours or somebody in a work situation, you know, took credit for something you were doing, took your commission, took your raise, took your promotion, something, and you're contemplating, do I even want this job? Do I even want to keep going with this particular project? What is it that needs to happen for me to feel that like I'm back on top situation? This can also apply to Scorpios that are breaking up and finding that now that the truth is revealed, they have to financially scramble to be, you know, singular instead of a unit. Sorry, I'm just gonna... And last but not least, we have the Magician and the Sun. So Leo showing up again. And also this feeling of, I can get things done. I can make it happen. I can alchemize this. Really, really good luck. Supreme good fortune that is tied to your ability, your use of the best tools that you have, your ability to know that you are the shit and put forth your best content, your best product, your best work, internal, external. It doesn't matter where the work is happening. You feel like you can handle this. You feel like you can move forward no matter how you're feeling at the beginning of the month. By the end of the month, you're feeling, one, that you need to retreat and be quiet. Cancer season and Scorpios are a little bit, it's testy. But 2, you go into that cave with everything that you've accomplished at the beginning of the month, all that passion, all that drive, you know, money situation getting better, obsessive, almost destructive sexual relationship for some of you. And then June 21st, as Neptune retrogrades, you go back into your cave and you assess, okay, what do I have on my table? What did I learn from that time in the sun? And what do I do now with what I have moving forward to make even more of an impact, not just financially, emotionally, but more so this is about your place in the world. This is about how Scorpio is seen and how they are received and how much respect they are receiving amongst their peers. It's a level up that starts with a spiral. It's a level up that starts with your spiral down into your sacral energy. And if you think about it, it makes sense. So Uranus is there, it's across from you, it's pulling on you. You have that Kundalini rise going on as a Scorpio. Also, if you have natal Uranus in Scorpio, you have that rise going on. And so you do find your salvation through the sacral chakra, but it's about spiraling that energy up. But first, there are a lot who would say first you have to go find it. First you have to spiral down and activate it and touch it, and then it, and then it spirals up. So in the spirit of raising our vibration, have your fun, have your good time, have your reconnection. For some of you, this is a reconnection that you've been waiting for so long that you may want to, physically like possess this person. Like, I never want you out of my sight again. I don't know. I can't handle this ever not working again. And it will test you because you know how you are. When you get something in your hands that you want, to let go of it is like, fixed water doesn't let go. So letting yourself dive so deeply into something, and then, later in June going, okay, I'm going to let it go, is, whoa, it's a lot. It's growth. It's a lot of growth emotionally for you guys. It's very impressive. You're going to be a little bit testy throughout it. Might have a few, emotional moments during the letting go process, and yet we see that it is for your utmost benefit. And then King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Three of Swords together. So if you're dealing with an earth sign that you're calling it quits with, they are in a world of pain because of it. But I don't think that they can justify themselves either. So they're in a world of pain, but really there's nothing you can do to make it easier for them, because you can't, the Death card coming out third is like, you can't help but be yourself. You're tired of trying to somehow pretend to fill this role that just is not you. And it's weird because so few people ask you to play a role. Like, they love the role you already play, but authenticity will be found and self-esteem regained for some of you, and toxic relationships ended, and moving forward, the money is a boost and a safety and an assurance. Like, hey, emotionally things are going a little everywhere, but financially, the universe has you. No matter how you're feeling right now, it was a dip and now we're coming back up. All right, Scorpio, at bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. As long as we're very careful, we're getting into the extended now, very careful not to do that. Oh boy, underneath that was the Chariot. Oh boy, you and the Cancers. Whoa boy. Ooh, it's gonna be steamy. I'll tell you like that. Like, I'm really trying. I guess that's why I'm stammering. I'm really trying to like hold it together. But your energy is so sensual. It's so like, Ooh, I can't even, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Can't handle it. Actually, I'm like sweating. Ooh, okay, let's take a look, Scorpio. Hey, did I mention that I love you? Did I? I might have. I love you. Mwah! See you in a minute. Hi, Scorpio. If this isn't the prettiest reading, there's actually a rainbow right there. It's from the vase that the roses are in. Ah, I loves it. Sorry, just moved my water bottle. That's a Game of Thrones moment. Okay, so here we go. First off, you must remember what we talked about. Gemini season triggers you the way Geminis trigger you, which is for your good. It may not always feel good, but it's for your good. So this reading may feel like it jumps right into Cancer season, and it kind of does. Why? Because although you might be annoyed, you're not suffering through Gemini season. You understand the crazy. You acknowledge that it's crazy, but you're not confused, right? I think that's part of why Gemini, Scorpio get along and have this, tentative peace always, always on the brink of war, but ceasefire. So you get it. You understand the chaos. Where the advice really will be helpful for you is when this Cancerian moon energy kicks in. Also remember, the moon is associated with Pisces, and Neptune is going to go retrograde on the same day that the sun goes into Cancer. So for me, the moon coming up first is like, Scorpio, do what you do with every Gemini. Do that with Gemini season. You halfway tolerate it, you halfway fall in love with it, and at some point you realize that this is a special energy that really does make you smarter. It refines you, and you love that, right? So you're good. You're good. When we hit that mid-June mark, and the reason I bring it up now is like, well, why don't you bring that up in Cancer season? Well, because there's a few things you need to realize before we hit Cancer season that will make it pleasant. So if we know this is what's going to happen, then what can we do now? And that's where I would like to focus the rest of this. So things are going to come out, things that may actually make you walk out the door, because it becomes a question of self-preservation, integrity, and you wholeheartedly believe that there are much better opportunities out there. If you're one of those Scorpios who finds themselves in that situation, go ahead and leave now, because as soon as Cancer season hits, it's going to get super messy. If you already know you're leaving, you should leave now. Now, one of the other things that will happen, this is a card of revelation, this is a card of revelation, this is usually an action taken after revelation. So something may be coming out about you, or you are exposing something about somebody else. Something is being brought to light for you, even about the other person. Regardless of how their true form shows up, this can be a time where you need to now, at the beginning of June, start getting your finances in order, start getting your receipts together, start getting your legalese taken care of if you are intensely tied to this person. Is there regret if you are leaving? Yes, of course there is. But I think you'll be surprised at how many that you leave behind still work very hard for you, maybe to get you back, but maybe just to further your position in the world, still trying to help you secretly, still loving you secretly. But for a lot of Scorpios, it really just looks like you've had enough. And why it comes up so much about middle of July is because you're feeling this stuff already, which is why it resonates. But you don't see it yet. And that's often, what a Scorpio is. It's the ability to have so much faith in your own intuition that you don't need to see it. By the time you see it, it's a foregone conclusion. You're like, yeah, I already knew that. I already knew that was going to happen. So you already know where, those of you who have been in very tumultuous relationships, where it's heading. And there are a few things that may want to, certain things keep you hooked in. The amount of time someone put in, the amount of money they invested, the amount of energy that was, seeded into the thing. But there's a realization this month that heartbreak and the Seven of Swords energy of deceit doesn't always have to be about betrayal. This person may not be trying to betray you. There's misunderstandings here that can be cleared up. If you're going into June already knowing that you're going to perceive people a certain way, but it's just it's this emotional glamour, you know, it's this emotional show that Neptune is going to put on with this retrograde. If you know that that's going to happen, you can choose to put your faith in the person and not in your thoughts, because whenever Scorpios fall in love, these cards are going to come up, because this rises so close to the surface whenever you start to get feelings for someone. I hope they don't betray me and take from me. And I hope they don't hurt me. So if you know that you're predisposed to thinking this way, and that emotional thinking about love is going to get really hazy, really, really water confusing, then you can start to do things now to, you know, lessen the chaos when we get there. We're going to we're going to replace one sort of chaos for another. And mutable air chaos is a lot more palatable to Scorpios because you can control it. But cardinal water is one of the only seasons that Scorpio finds very difficult to handle, as does everyone. And no, it's not just because it's extremely emotional. Cardinal water is more than just emotion. It is a deep, deep knowing. And I think that's why it's so frightening. Because beyond your fear of intimacy is this deep knowing that if you wanted, you could make anything happen. And that perhaps you don't ever tap into it because you're afraid. Because you're afraid that on one side of this seesaw here will be pain. I think Gemini season is going to try very hard to teach you that pain is a gamble you must take. Because Scorpio, if you've been running from thing to thing to thing to prop yourself up, to put yourself in the limelight, to make the money, you may find it really frustrating that you're able to accomplish just about anything. But in terms of love, you feel like your hands are tied behind your back. And I think that Gemini season shows you that it's you tying your hands behind your back. It's you that provides the rope. Right? I said Gemini season gives you the rope. I think Gemini season hands you the rope and goes, look how you tie yourself up. And I would really like for you to get out of those ties before Cancer season comes around, because hands tied behind your back and cardinal water is not a good scenario. And then you say, well, only that, you know, that which is dead can never die, and we don't care. And yes, some of you will go for that wash, and that's fine. I'm just, you know, that's not going to be my first advice. Look, but isn't the Phoenix coming out this summer too? So maybe it's all. Oh my God, that's like 2 different references to that Sansa girl in the same reading. I wonder if she's even a Scorpio. I know a Scorpio who looks like her, which is amazing. Shout out Illume Artistry. I love you. Okay. So that was really deep, right? That end part there. Yes, I know. It's, yes, let's leave it there. In the extended, we will, of course, shuffle through and clarify these cards. But the cool thing is we clarify and then we clarify the clarifiers because we want the tea. Bottom of the deck here is a lot of mess. It's a lot of Cancerian. Now, you're going to think everyone's cheating. Even if you're not in a relationship, you're going to swear somebody's cheating on you. I don't know. Don't get mad. I'm only laughing. It's hilarious. How can you get mad if you're not even in a relationship? Okay, all right. I love you. I'll see you in a second.